found footage, an alien, and 3 young children. What could possibly go wrong? Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my white room. Now, today I'm going to be reviewing for you guys Earth to Echo. This is a new kids movie which came out this week, and so I'm reviewing it. So right away, this movie really sets up the characters. We have these 3 boys and then eventually a girl. We see their backstories, we know who they are and generally where they come from, and that's really all the movie does in terms of developing these characters. We see a few relationships tested here or there, but for the most part the characters do remain fairly flat. Each one has their own distinct personality, but besides that it's really not that terribly interesting to see these people do what they do. In my opinion, the really good parts of the movie were at the very beginning where they're trying to find Echo, which is what the alien in this movie is called, and then towards the end when they're essentially getting it out of the atmosphere. The general plot of this movie is that these 3 boys, they end up following this map which is shown on their phones, and it leads them to Echo, which is this alien that they find and they name him Echo. And the main premise of the movie is that they're going around their town finding different parts of this key which Echo is kind of hiding in, and so that he can get away in his spaceship. And so that is really the general premise. This is a found footage movie, like I said in the intro, and towards the beginning, because that's kind of where most of the suspense is in the movie. It works actually half decently well, but after a while, when they're just kind of getting into the general middle part of the movie, it got kind of annoying, to be honest, just because I would have rather seen it as like an actual movie being filmed instead of just this found footage thing, which doesn't really seem to work that well towards the middle of the movie. The movie also feels really rushed in the middle. After Echo is found and they're just going over town, it just seems like they go from place to place to place to place to place really quickly, and it doesn't really take time to let us get kind of invested into these characters and get kind of absorbed into wherever they are at the present time. It just goes from place to place to place, and it just doesn't really work that well. I was just thinking to myself, like, slow down, movie, and do something with these places. It also focuses a lot more on the human characters than it would on the actual alien Echo. For at least half the movie, it only shows, or at least focuses on, the relationships, and very thin relationships, between these 3 boys and the girl. And it just kind of bugged me. I thought a movie whose title character was a robot from outer space, or an alien from outer space, would have a more prominent role in the film, and it really didn't. It just kind of did nothing. It didn't speak. It didn't do anything really terribly exciting until the end, so I don't know. I just kind of got annoyed with that as well. The humor does actually work fairly well in the movie, though. Towards the beginning, I found myself laughing a lot just at the different comedic moments that these boys have between each other. I thought that worked really well. There were some afterwards which were just funny, and the movie was actually fairly humorous for the most part, but that didn't really save it from feeling rushed and honestly somewhat boring after a point. Even when it is only an hour and a half long, it does seem actually kind of boring. I was more entertained by Transformers than I was by this movie, and so that might be saying something. I did like Transformers though, so that was maybe part of it. It's also very much a feel-good, family-esque, kid-esque movie, so there's that. There's like a really happy ending kind of towards the end of the movie. For the most part, it's kind of a growing up experience for these boys, and that's kind of mainly what the movie focuses on, and so that's just kind of how that works out. All of the events that happen in the movie also take place in one night. It's not over the course of many days or anything like that. It's over the course of one night, maybe 12 hours at a time, where all this happens, and it's just really unrealistic, to be frankly honest. A lot of the things that occur in this movie are unrealistic, up to the point where they could actually be realistic. Overall, I enjoyed Earth to Echo a little bit. It was not nearly as good as I thought it was going to be. I've liked most of the kids' movies which have come out this summer, mainly How to Train Your Dragon 2, but this one it kind of fell flat for me. It wasn't really that interesting. I didn't really care about the characters. I was waiting for something exciting to happen. I had to wait until the last maybe 10 minutes of the movie for that to happen. If you're a kid, you'll probably like it. If you're just a general moviegoer, I'd say just skip this, go to something else, which is currently out, maybe How to Train Your Dragon 2, if you're trying to find something to go with kids. Not the best movie I've seen in a very long time. That's my review of Earth to Echo. What did you think of it? Did you like it a lot more than I did? Did you hate it about as much as I did? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I appreciate it immensely. And as always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.